loves, welcome back to my channel. And today's topic, we're talking about women and their sexuality. And one of the reasons I feel the urge to bring this topic up is I started a new workshop called Sisters Who Dance, and I wanted to kind of share how that came about. And so I have been with a women's group where we've been dancing, and my teacher is from Watonga, so we're doing a lot of Tahitian, Hawaiian hula movements. And as you know, most of Tahitian dance and hula movement stems from using the hips, the waistline, and the legs. And so my Jamaican background, we use our waistline a lot too. We call it wine, we call it bubble, when you move your waistline. And so there are moves that we do which we have no understanding of why we do it and how important it is to our well-being, but we do it. And so I recognized the difference in my life when I left Jamaica and I moved to America, and I stopped using my waistline. I wasn't going out as much, I wasn't dancing as much, because I wasn't feeling as comfortable to express myself through dance when I go out, because the cultural shift. In Jamaica, when you go out and you dance and you move your waistline, yes, it's very seductive, and yes, it's very sensual, but there's a freedom to it. There's no association to it, like, oh, she wants it, or she's asking for it, or she is trying to attract some male attention. It is just like the norm. So even as kids, we play, moving our waistline, and it was like who had the better wire waist that could move their waistline, the best. And there was no sexual connotations to it. It was just like a way of being, right? And so then I came to America, and I remember going to our first little party, and there were adults there. And I remember us Jamaicans being asked to stop dancing because there were kids around. And we were like, what? Like the shame of moving our bodies, moving our waistline. And then I got into ministry, and we could not use our waistline because you did not want to stir up lust and sexuality. You cannot get horny because you're a Christian, and you may think the thought of having sex with somebody, and then you're a sinner, all that judgment. So then again, the shame. So I stopped moving my waistline. Even in my private time, I stopped, and I noticed my figure started to kind of change, and my money was held up. Everything was kind of stuck. Like, I'm going to church, I'm serving in ministry, and I'm having powerful prayers, but there was something that was just stuck, wasn't moving. And after a while, I got depressed, and I stopped going to church. I stepped down from ministry. And it was in that depression was when God started to speak to me in a way where I was listening, where, he was like, talk to me, tell me your truth. And I started to, one thing that I did was I started having sex. I met someone and I was having sex. And that awoken something inside of me, which almost like I was asleep. And so I started to move my waist again. And in doing that, my life started to move. Things started to change. My money started to get better. And people might say, oh, it's because you start to sin. When you have sin and you go to God and you ask for forgiveness, God forgives you. So each person have their personal relationship with God and their journey. You take accountability for your beliefs and what you are striving to obtain by having a relationship with God. So if you fall as they call it in church, and sin, it is your right to go to God and talk to God about it. So release the judgment there, right? My life doesn't change for the better because I started sinning. I opened up myself, and this is between me and God, and it's between you and God what you choose to do with this information. So my life opened up, and then I started to experience God on a bigger level, and I started to learn about laws of attraction and manifestation and how to really work with the Word of God in the Bible to bring about the change and transformation in my life, which is through meditation. And meditation is also about focusing the mind. There are very many aspects to meditation. Prayer is also meditation, a form of meditation. But learning how to tap into the full form of prayer for activation through focus, oh my God, life-changing. And God taught me that through that time of stepping away. And so I'm tracing back to the dance, to the movement. And then I moved to Hawaii. And yes, they have the hula and the dance, but there's also some restrictions when you go out too. So that was very surprising to me. And then fast forward to now, I used to do workshops. I have the Queen's Gathering workshop, Wild Reiki Woman, Hour of Power, Vision Manifesting. And so I was doing these workshops 2019 and just on it, and 2020 started, and 2021 I had the last one, 2021, in January, and I stopped. I wasn't dancing, and people were asking for these workshops because I had a following, and I just stopped. Like, I just did not feel the urge to do it. What I did not recognize was that I wasn't tuning into my root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras, which were the chakras that are activated when we move. Our root chakra has to do with our security and our safety. Our sacral chakra has to do with our ovaries and our sexuality, and our solar plexus has to do with our willpower. Now, as women, we are easily alive in our heart chakra, throat chakra, crown chakra. We're comfortable there. But in the lower chakras, we're not as comfortable. And that was something that one of my teachers, Rayamana, was talking about, was sharing. And it was like such an eye-opener. And so my creativity, even though I was creating in the spirit realm, I wasn't tuning in and connecting to my sensuality, right? And so I started doing this Tahitian dance, and it's like we were doing certain moves and the tears started to flow, and I recognized that I had forgotten the power in moving my body, my sensuality, in just moving my waistline. And so within the first session, I got activated where I was just, my emotions was just flowing, and I just kind of started speaking my truth. And then the next activation happened at the next class, where an idea came in where I felt a strong urge to channel, and I decided to tap into that. And I sat down and I just channeled out, and out of this was birthed Sisters Who Dance. We had our first full moon gathering of sisters, and 10 amazing women signed up. And it was amazing because we came together, and 10 amazing women signed up and 6 showed up. And I was so grateful because these were all new people that I didn't know, and I was bringing it into my space. And also I was just like, okay, God, when I put something out there, it's a soul calling. It's my soul calling to your soul, because your soul asks for it, and I have the medicine and you have the medicine for me. And so a lot of people may feel like, yeah, I want to do it and then when the time draws nearer, there may be obstacles and distractions, but the true people who are supposed to come together for the soul awakening and receive the soul message will be the ones that really push through and show up. Because some of the ladies that came were saying, like, they were having difficulties. One of them, their car wasn't starting suddenly, and one was just feeling like they didn't want to show. But they came, and when they came, they were like, oh my God, this was exactly what I needed, the magic. And what I noticed in the workshop, like I had to constantly remind the women to move their body. Like we were doing elemental dance, different elements, the water, the earth, fire, air. And they were comfortable moving up here, the neck, the shoulder, the arms. But when it came to the waist, I had to remind them to get back down into the body. So I'm sharing this because as women, there's so much power in our lower area, or creativity. And it's like I've been just getting creative downloads now, and I'm feeling inspired. I mean, I have a journal, a numerology journal that I've been working on since 2021 and been editing and it was just off and wrong, and finally it is finished, it is complete, and it's up and running. It's on Noodles. It's on my website, Art of Living Maui /numerology, or go under my shop and you will see my journals under there. And they come in different colors. There is white, there is red, there is a purplish pink color, green and yellow. And each color determines what you're working on. And there's a whole journal prompts and a whole section on how to do your numerology, how to find your life path number, how to calculate your destination number, and how to find out your personal year versus your universal year. And there's a guide in there of what the meaning of numbers. So if numbers is a spiritual tool that God, or spiritual language I should say, that God speaks to you through, you have somewhere to start. And then I will dive deeper into that in another session. But I wanted to share how important and powerful it is to move the lower body, to move the energy, because you're moving energy through. And so we keep a lot of the energy here, but not down here. And again, our safety or security or willpower, creativity, or feminine connecting in with nurturing is locked in with our waistline. And so if you don't move the waistline, you recognize that you start to have love handles and extra punch and all these little stuff happening, you know, because energy holds on where it's not released. It manifests in other forms. So I wanted to share how important it is to move your body, move your waistline, move the energy through. And as you're watching this, you know, just imitate that. Just move in the energy through and change directions. If you go in one direction, move in the other direction so as to balance out the energy. And as you move, and also forward and backward, you know, opening it up, left, right, middle. You know, I have a song that I teach opening up the waistline to in the program, and it was amazing. I mean, the ladies received it so well. And so I want to remind you every day, you know, get some movement in and pay attention to the changes that happen in your life. And I guarantee you that once you start moving your body, moving through, waking up your energy center in your lower body, you will find that things start to align and what was blocked is released. And so I wanted to share this with you, and I'll be sharing more. If you love this information, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and I will share more with you. Again, my name is Marsha Wald. My website is Art of Living Maui. You can connect with me there, or on Instagram at The Real Marsha Wald, or on Facebook, my Facebook page, Art of Living Maui. Thank you. Aloha, malama puno, and until next time, aloha.